All right, so today's video, or what we're going to be talking about today, is it really is ridiculous, and it's over the top. And honestly, I know that. That's why I'm doing it, because I think it'll be funny. So this is going to be me reacting to a video of someone reacting to me reacting to Abbey Sharp reacting to Amberlynn Reid's diet. I'm pretty sure I got that right the first try. Very proud of myself. But it's ridiculous. Trust me, it's over the top. So this is a video from Chikara Transformations. I think that's how you say it. And it is called Inception Reaction, Obese to Beast versus Abbey Sharp versus Amberlynn Reid. Part 1. I guess there's more than one part. Jeez. So here we go, you guys. This is ridiculous. Dang, that intro's lit, though. Dang, dude. I should probably put a copyright disclaimer in my videos, but I've never had a problem, so.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Leona. I'm also in Chikara Transformations. I'm an online health and fitness coach, and I'm also a bodybuilder. You can't see I'm wearing a hoodie. It's really cold in the UK, guys.
I don't believe you, liar. The struggle, man. When you wear a hoodie, no gains.
It's misty and cold right now. What I am not, though, I am not a doctor, I am not a dietitian, and I'm not a nutritionist. So this video is actually highly requested, and I don't just mean by 1 or 2 people. I'm going to say at least 5 or 6 people messaged me about this.
Jeez. A lot of people, man.
True story. Abbey Sharp has done a video about Amberlynn Reid, and I have covered Abbey Sharp in the past. I haven't in recent times, actually. I think it's because she has started to cover more people on the other end of potentially disordered eating, because that was basically my main contention.
I've heard a lot of this, like, I've heard a lot of people that have like things have levied like things against Abbey Sharp is that or criticism there, I couldn't think of the word, where they say like Abbey doesn't talk enough about bigger creators, and I think that that's a valid criticism. First off, I want to put that out there. I understand probably why she hasn't, because she is health at every size, you know what I mean? And so that could be a bad look. And so I think that that's probably why she just naturally hasn't done that. And from watching her channel in the past and seeing a lot of her videos, a lot of why I think the reason why she makes videos is because she is trying to show people that these people you follow that claim to be super healthy and that claim to be like the pinnacle of health actually have some disordered behaviors, and that's like kind of why she makes these videos. Again, I'm not saying that that's right, but I think I understand like why she has taken the route that she has, but I do think it would be interesting for her to do more full day of eating videos on people that might not be considered quote unquote healthy or thin or fit or whatever.
And with her is that she only focused on people that were she considered underweight or to have unhealthy diet habits because of the fact that they are like athletes and stuff like that. So, but then she has started to cover people like Nikocado, Avocado, and people slightly on the other side of the spectrum, which I think is a responsible thing to do. It's not portraying a fair image of what's disordered and not, especially seeing that obesity is one of the leading causes of death in the Western world. So obviously, undereating is a problem. People starving themselves for looks obviously is a problem. I get that. But the reality is more people do die of obesity.
I don't disagree with that.
And normalizing obesity is kind of what she was almost doing, but now she is covering a wider variety of people. So I don't have as much to say about her. Personally, I don't like her approach. I find her, I'm sure she does it for a reason. I'm sure there is a certain demographic that she talks to, but...
Well, yeah, that's like what I said, right? So her demographic isn't my demographic. It's probably not her demographic. It's like I said, it seems like it's for a very specific person. Now, I'm not saying that you can't criticize that, because you certainly can. I've criticized it myself. But I'm just trying, kind of trying to play devil's advocate a little bit.
I feel like her approach is very treating people with cotton gloves, which is not the way I like to be treated. I want people to be honest and direct with me.
So I've seen other videos with people being like, she needs to do things this way, man. And I'm not trying, dude. It's so freaking annoying. Like, I'm trying to explain how I feel, okay? So I'm not trying to defend Abbey Sharp or defend Amberlynn Reid or defend this woman. Like, I'm just trying to explain how I feel, okay? So, like, it's weird to me because, of course, Abbey Sharp is not going to come and, like, do a every damn day fitness type of roast on someone. Like, she's coming up as a dietitian that's like, I'm going to talk about the dietitian stuff that I see here, the food stuff. Like, I've seen people like, Abbey Sharp didn't talk about Amberlynn Reid and how she did this thing in the past about this person and how she did this about the dog. And it's like, dude, like, obviously Abbey Sharp is going to come from a place of a dietitian trying to help with the diet side of things. Like, she's not going to get into the weeds about all that stuff. Now, again, if that's your criticism, that's fine. But it's like, I feel like it's pretty obvious that, like, Abbey Sharp is going in this as a dietitian that is explaining, if this person wants to lose weight, I think that this is what they can do. Like, I don't know.
But anyway, Obese to Beast did a reaction to her reaction. People have asked me to do a reaction to his reaction to her reaction.
I think it's so funny that... Why not just have her react to the actual video? Why react to my video that is an hour and a half long? Why would you do this to yourself? Like, I guess I'm doing it to myself right now, but I do this all the time, man. Hey, baby, it ain't no thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God.
So we are doing some Inception level shit here. I'm only going to do half of the video for now because his reaction is an hour and a half, which means that if I were to...
Hey, can't say I don't got stamina, baby. Let's go.
To do a full reaction, we're several hours in, and my internet bandwidth cannot cope with that kind of video upload. I'll be uploading for a whole day. So I'm going to break it into halves. I'll probably do the other half next week. Yeah,
dude, story of my life, dude. Sometimes these freaking videos take literal hours to upload. It's literally torture.
Before we get into it, if you're not a member, it's maybe worth exploring. I do member-only live streams. I live stream my first workout this weekend. I don't monetize the content. There's no ads in there. I will have dedicated live streams every Thursday afternoon.
Live stream's the best. You guys know.
And I will do more dedicated content. For example, training with coaching cues. Diet. I'm going to film this weekend a at-home workout tutorial of exercises you can do at home with limited equipment. I'm going to do recipes, etc, etc. I'll also keep you up to date of what the schedule is like for my channel. There are perks there that are worth it, in my opinion. So I also totally understand if it's something you can't afford or you're not particularly interested in, but the options are there.
Dang, dude, she's killing this sales pitch, man. I suck at this stuff, you know? I have a members thing, too. You guys can join if you want. I don't do all that stuff, though. I'm just being honest.
Do suggest checking it out. We could have a good time. We have some fun emojis. It's just nice. Like, I'm glad I've done the membership. It's I wish I'd done it sooner, to be honest, because I do like having that little bit of extra privacy there. And I'm not gonna lie, the emojis are just fun. So we're going to get into this now. Grab yourself your big cup of apple and cinnamon tea. If you know, you know. And let's get into this. This is going to take some time. I don't know what to expect. By the way, I do like Obese to Beast. I do like John. I do watch his content here and there. I did.
Heck yeah, you do. Everyone likes me. You kidding me? Just kidding. Everyone's like, I don't like you anymore, you freaking cocky piece of crap.
In and out of it. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see what he has to say.
All right, so today we're going to be talking... Hey... It's me. Hello. It's little baby me. I just want to touch myself. Like, ooh, hi. Wow, it's a cool denim jacket, man. You're a cool guy. Wow. Now, this video, I want to make it very clear. You guys look at this little baby Yoda over here. Look it. It's you. Oh, you guys can't see him. He's excited, though. This video was posted like an...
I like his style. This sort of style, it really suits him.
Hey! Style icon, baby. Let's go. Hour before I am sitting here in the stream... reacting to it or sharing my thoughts. So I have not obviously been able to watch the video because it's a pretty long one. But this is, as you can see by the title of the video, Dietitian's Thoughts on Amberlynn Reid's Diet and Mukbangs. This might be hard to watch. And this is from... This is so ridiculous, dude. I can't. We're going to do it, but... Oh, trust me, the ridiculousness of this is not lost on me. Oh man, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I don't care. Known dietitian on YouTube, Abbey Sharp.
Just to bring up Abbey Sharp being a dietitian, obviously she's more qualified than what I am, but from what I understand, she is an intuitive eating dietitian. And intuitive eating is an interesting way of looking at dieting. So for example here, what is intuitive eating? Let's just clarify that. It's basically an approach that was created in 1995. Intuitive eating is a non-diet approach to health and wellness that helps you tune with your body signals, break the chronic cycle of dieting, and heal your relationship with food. From a nutritional professional perspective, intuitive eating is a framework that helps keep nutrition, intervention, and behavior focused instead of restrictive rule focused. Some of the principles of intuitive eating are: reject diet mentality, honor your hunger, make peace with food, challenge the food police, respect your fullness, discover the satisfaction, honor your feelings, respect your body, move your body, honor your health. This is very Hayes, very body positive, and
I mean, she's not wrong. I think that there are, with intuitive eating, I think that there are a lot of things that I think are really awesome. Now, I've talked about this many times with intuitive eating, is when it comes to intuitive eating, one of the issues I have with a lot of intuitive eating dietitians or just dietitians in general is that they make it seem like you can just go from not knowing what to eat and eating in a way that's obviously not good for your body to just eating intuitively, which is like, it's just not that simple. Like it really isn't that simple. It takes a lot of time to be able to get to a point where you can eat intuitively. Like I don't like to call it intuitively, but I like to eat mindfully, right? And so I think about what I'm going to eat. I think about the food that I'm going to put in my body, so I don't just eat whatever I want. But I do think that intuitive eating really is the way that we should eat eventually, right? So that's important though. Eventually is different from what you should be doing right now.
Obviously, we should all be body positive. I don't think body positive should just belong to obese people. I think we should all be body positive. People, regardless of size and skin color, etc., people are going to be subjective to criticism from others, so just make sure you always love yourself. But for me, like I say, I'm not a dietitian, but I do think some principles of intuitive eating work in theory, but it's been taken over by the Hayes movement, by the body positive movement, the negative side of it, and
it is frustrating. It seems like that's why I don't like to say I eat intuitively now, because it has like this weird connotation now. So that's why I like to call it like a mindful eating or something else, because I don't want to be lumped in with all those peeps. You know what I'm saying?
It's being used as basically an excuse to normalize obesity and excuse overeating and
So this is interesting. So Ariana just said, I used intuitive eating to heal my bulimia. And like that, I think that's one of the things that intuitive eating really, really does well with, helping people. It really can help people that are overly restrictive, right? Like there genuinely are some benefits there. Like absolutely.
Excuse just poor diet behaviors. And I get you should do everything in moderation as per the intuitive eating approach, but the reality is that some people do need to have stricter diets. If you want to lose weight, if you want to lose body fat, if you need to, because of your health, you need to follow a diet, unfortunately. Or maybe not a diet, you need to follow calorie restriction.
Yeah, so I'm glad that she used that word instead of diet, because diet, like everyone has a diet. Like a diet is such a weird word. English is weird. We've gone over this, but like diet is such a weird word because to a lot of people, like it means like you're going on a diet, you're restricting yourself. But then to other people, it's like literally just the word diet, right? Whatever you're eating. But I think that you're gonna have to if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit, right? You have to restrict your calories some way. Now, for some people, tracking that and actually putting that into MyFitnessPal, that's the way that they can do it. But there are a lot of people that can lose weight without tracking, but it's not because they are not they're not in a deficit. It's because they have just changed their habits, right? So like not drinking soda, not eating fast food, not eating junk food. Like if you're 200 pounds overweight and you cut those things out, like you will lose weight. No, you won't be tracking your meals or anything like that, but you can lose weight without actually tracking, right? It is possible.
You're never going to lose weight otherwise. You probably need to look into eating more whole foods and minimizing the intake of fast foods and processed food. If you're trying to build muscle, you're going to have to eat probably a little bit more than normal, because you need energy to build muscle to
baby, try and get jacked.
perform. If you're an athlete, you're probably going to have to follow a certain way of eating as well in order to be at top performance. So I, for example, need to make sure, if I'm trying to diet, which is something that I'm not dieting right now, I'm doing something for 4 weeks, a transformation. But for me to lose body fat, I actually need to eat more, but healthy whole foods, stick to a meal plan and be quite strict with that. That's what works for me. But the more I eat, as far as my metabolism, the more I can train at higher intensity. I lose body fat if I eat more. I know it's crazy, but that's how my body works. Now, if I don't force myself to eat certain meals at certain times, and even force feed meals when I'm not hungry, I will undereat, because I get very busy most days with food.
It's not for me. Your boy can eat, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is like, it's interesting because I'm assuming that a lot of the people that are probably watching her channel, that are watching my channel, like that's not the experience that most people are going to have, right? It's not going to be, oh, if I don't focus, I just don't eat enough. No, most people that are probably watching our channels are, no, if I don't focus, I'm eating too much. You know what I mean? And so it's, I don't know, interesting to me.
Filming in the morning and then my clients in the afternoon, that I'm just stuck here all day long. If I don't take time away to go and eat and force myself to eat, then I'll just undereat massively. I'll easily eat like only 1,500 calories a day, which is not good for somebody my size, my height, my lean muscle mass, my performance in the gym. So intuitive eating, I think, is one of those things. It works on paper. Where does it work in practice? For some people, I don't think it's an appropriate approach from everybody, especially people that have problems overeating.
And I'm sure a lot of you guys know who Amberlynn Reid is. If you don't, I'm sure Abbey will let us know. So let's see how this goes.
Oh, this one's gonna be hard to watch.
I mean, she's probably not wrong.
Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abbey's Kitchen.
Apparently Abby's going to do a video about me. Supposedly, people have requested for her to review what I eat in a days. The thing is with her though, she's like, I did see the Abbey video, so I'm not going into.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that she would. I would be surprised. This is no shade, but this person has 18.1k subscribers. Like Abbey Sharp, like she does it to be interesting and to help people, but like she does it for clout as well, right? She's not gonna do someone that doesn't have like a huge following. And so, not to be mean, but I'm just saying I don't think that she would.
Just completely blind. I haven't seen Jill's response to it. She does cherry pick her.
But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. If I'm wrong, then that's fine. It doesn't really matter.
Reactions, her commentary videos, because with Greg, she purposely did a video of when he was dieting, and with Amber, she's purposely doing it when Amber is eating pretty healthy, for Amber at least. So I would imagine that if she does it for me, she's probably gonna take a video or 2 videos where I'm purposely dieting. There's times and places where I'm strict. There's times and places when I'm not strict, and if I have a goal, you have to just be strict. But I have a feeling that if she does me, she will purposely find videos where I am being strict. But then I have a certain goal to achieve, which is to sometimes get really shredded.
Jesus frick, dude. Same though. What? I don't know. Like the Greg video was bad. Like that was just bad. Abbey seems like a nice person. That was bad. It was a bad video. She did not do a very good job. But I will say that it doesn't seem like she's always malicious in her intent to review diets. She reviewed my diet, and she was actually pretty. Seemed to be pretty chill with whatever she saw. Like genuinely, I was surprised. I thought she was gonna roast me, but she seemed to be totally fine with the way that I eat. So I think like this narrative that she is only out for blood and tries to like ruin people. It from my own experience, it doesn't seem to be true. But again, like I said, the Greg one was it was bad. It was bad.
Which I don't think I will in 4 weeks, but it'd be cool though. If I get to 75 kilos, I'll be looking pretty good. I mean, like, I'm 77.5 now. If I get to 75, 2.5 kilos.
Dude, bodybuilders are so funny. It's so oh man, it's just so funny to me. No shade or anything, but it's bodybuilders are so funny to me. It's
5-6 pounds on me, but fat loss, you'll notice a difference.
In today's highly requested video, we will be reviewing Amberlynn Reid. Now, I've received so many requests from you guys to review.
I do not. I mean, I believe everything she's saying right here because y'all, the Amberlynn Reid stands or whatever they're called,
And babies, I believe.
they go freaking hard, dude. Like they do not play. And so I'm sure she's probably gotten literally thousands of people to ask her to talk about this stuff. I've been told it's called the Hater Nation, I guess. So I apologize for being wrong last time.
I think it's important for her to talk about it anyway, because what's the behaviors that somebody like Amberlynn displays, or Foodie Beauty, or Hungry Fat Chick, and Nikocado Avocado is like, obviously I don't think large volume mukbangs are good regardless. I don't think there is really a place for them. Doing a couple of thousand calories, okay, but when you get like even like Eric the Electric and stuff like that, it is perpetrating unhealthy eating behaviors in my opinion. And just because somebody's slender, it's not okay. I definitely also believe that there is an element of what's the word, like the fat bias, if you like.
Jeez, man, this comment right here, y'all, this is craziness. Okay, it says Hater Nation is more the people who react to ALR and Chantel, not necessarily the stands. Dude, there is too much lore with these people. There's too much lore to get into. I'm sorry. I try, man. But dude, like I said in my video, it seems like no matter what you say, people are like, well, you didn't bring this up and this up and this up and this up and this up. You're like, dude, holy crap. I'm sorry. I didn't freaking spend 4 months of my life to understand this one video. Holy smokes. Whew.
Because let's be real, you don't want to see somebody who is really overweight eating more fruit, but then this is because I think you can see they're already actively sick. It's like seeing somebody who is underweight starving themselves. You probably have a bigger problem with it compared to somebody who's overweight starving themselves. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't mean that to be in a horrible way. I understand why it is a problem. I do also see that it is somewhat unfair because you should treat everybody equally. But if somebody...
Sorry. This is so stupid. It's so dumb. This is me and then her and then me again reacting to, oh my god. Oh, I don't even remember what she was saying. I'm just saying the whole idea of what I'm doing right now is so dumb. So stupid. Okay, let's go. Whew.
Is like indulging in their addictions or furthering their unhealthy habits. It's just painful to watch, isn't it? There's just... I don't know, I don't like watching it. This is part of the reason why people ask me sometimes to do Foodie Beauty reactions, and honestly, like, I find it difficult to do reactions to her for the most part. Because one...
Same, dude. Same. I'm glad someone else said it.
Her videos are not very interesting. Two, if she wants to be fat and eat, then let her be fat and eat. Like, what is that to me? Three, I just find her regression in her health. Every time I look at her, I can see she's getting bigger, she's getting sicker, and she's not talking about health and diet. Like, I know that I do Life by Jen sometimes. I only do it when she does like what I eat in a day or diet videos. Amber the same. Like, I don't feel the need to sit here and go back to back on Amberlynn Reid's content because I don't find it that interesting. I want to talk about diets and...
Dude, okay, so I know that I've been like, you know, being ridiculous, but actually, like, so far what she's saying, most of what obviously there's some things I disagree with, but like what she's saying right here, this is truly, like, I've said this before, like, I don't want to sit there like and like constantly talk about someone that I genuinely believe is in a bad spot. Like, it feels really weird. Like, people always, like, I get comments on almost every video saying like, do you watch Amberlynn Reid? You should talk about Amberlynn. I'm like, I don't want to do that all the time. Like, it feels weird to me. It's just like, ugh.
Health, and whilst I have obviously opinions, regardless, if I feel like I'm just gonna sit there and basically nitpick their life, which I probably do to some degree anyway, I've definitely tidied that up a lot compared to what I have done in the past. I just don't feel like doing just reactions for the sake of reactions. I want to do reactions when I have something to comment on. If that
Exactly. When you actually have something to say. When you actually have something to say, if there's a point that you can make instead of just watching someone's video and being like, haha, fat person. Like, that's not helpful. And I'm sure for her, if she's done these types of videos in the past, she used to do them all the time. Like, that's not fulfilling, man. I'm telling you, it's not. Like, you get money off of it, you get views off of it, but you don't feel like you're actually doing anything. You're just making fun of someone constantly, right? That's not fun.
That makes sense. And if I stick to health and calories and food, exercise, then I have fair talking points. I just personally can't do back-to-back reactions. I know if I did, it would get me, like, I can guarantee if I did back-to-back Amberlynn Reid reactions, I know I would get a lot of views. I know I would make insane money. And
That's true. She's not lying, dude. She's not lying, bro. 100%.
sometimes keep Amber in there because of the fact that I know they do make me money. But I just, for my own mental health, I can't do certain people, and definitely not back to back because I find it depressing to look at.
Dude, okay, so with what you just said right there, like, I already have so much more respect for her than a lot of other people I've talked about, because it seems like she actually has a conscience, which is, you know, hey, few and far between nowadays, it seems like.
I know I'm kind of contradicting myself because I do reactions, but you know what I'm trying to say. I do apply, not morals, but I do apply some rules to what I'm doing with my content.
She said, not morals. I don't have any morals.
If that makes sense. I'm sure, you know what I'm trying to say.
Review Amberlynn since I began this series, but especially since I did my review on Nikocado Avocado. So similar to Nick, whose review you can watch right here, Amberlynn's channel has been the subject of a lot of hate.
Yes. The thing is with Nick does it, I think they both do it on purpose. I both think
100% they both do. Without a doubt. Nick, much worse, though. Like, Nick, it's literally everything is fake, okay? Like, I don't believe a single thing that happens in those videos. And, like, I don't understand how a sane person can think that. Like, it's so obviously fake. With Amberlynn Reid, it seems like a lot of it actually is real, but then it's played up and made a little bit worse. But with Nick, it literally all seems like every single piece of it is fake. Like, every piece. Which, again, like, I don't get how everyone doesn't see that. It seems so obvious, but
they are playing the role of they are YouTube trolls. Do I think they actually deserve things like death threats? Do I think that some of the commentary that people make is fair? No. Like, people do go too fair. The reality is, like, if somebody's a troll, just laugh at them with them. Don't get offended by anything she does, because she is trolling for the most part. There's some things that happen. Some of it does get lost in translation, I think, because you're only hearing one side of the story, and people have such a huge dislike towards Amber, which some of it is absolutely, it's justified. I'm not saying it isn't, because she does troll her audience with her own health, and it's stupid. It is.
I do agree. I mean, she's making sense, bro.
It's very stupid, but then at the same time, when she's trolling, don't get offended by it. But for example, like what's been going around with these voice notes, this is nobody's problem but Amber's and her family. And frankly, I think it's highly inappropriate to be even making a video about that and sit there and listen to them. That's not your business. That's not my business. You don't know what went on.
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what she's talking about. But it seems like drama that I have zero interest in.
You know, there's things that you can be judgmental on, but to sit there and, like, imagine if that was your family. Imagine if you're with somebody and you had some problems with your other half's mother or father or whatever, and you were working things out. Regardless of what you think about Amber, regardless of what she said, that's not your business. There's just some things that aren't worth discussing or bringing up because it's nothing to do with anybody. It's, I don't know, I feel personally really gross. Like, if I was to sit here and do reactions to that, like, I couldn't do that with good conscience, because it's not, that is literally none of my business. That's not something she's chosen to put out there. There's just some lines you have to draw. I don't know where.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I said, people are unbelievably obsessed. Like, it's crazy, man. I don't even know what she's talking about. I don't know. It seems like some stuff that probably shouldn't be out there, but
I was going with that.
A lot of bullying.
Oh yeah, with her being bullied. So some of it is not bullying. I don't think people deserve to be bullied. She's definitely open to criticism, but at the same time, people do take it too far. People do take it too far and are unnecessary. You can be critical without name calling, etc.
And a lot of controversy, largely to her extreme weight gain and the inconsistent nature of her content. And while it has taken me a long time to figure out how to best approach this video,
it's not so much the weight gain, I think. It's like people...
So it looks like, so Rachel just said Amber was talking mean to her girl's mother and mother sold the voice messages. So again, that's just, dude, that's horrible that someone would do that. Like, obviously you shouldn't talk mean to people, but like to sell the voice, like again, that's like something I'm just like, okay, that's not, obviously, I have no opinion. I don't care. I just don't care.
People want her, I don't think many people want her to be unhealthy. I think people do want her to lose weight and be healthy. The problem isn't that she's getting bigger. The problem is that she's trolling that journey. It is her prerogative to do with her channel what she wants. But to sit there and basically start a health journey to only get bigger and then along the way just troll your audience, especially when some people are trusty viewers, they are supportive, and it is kind of a kick in the face to those who are like that. But then at the same time, she does have a large audience of trolls, so I don't know. It's not just her weight gain, it's her behavior in the process of.
I want to say that I think I'm finally ready.
I think that it's great that she is, you know, trying to respond in a way that is, you know, what she thinks is best. But I can say from my own experience that it seems like however you respond is never going to be enough, because if you respond in a way that's kind and you try to understand what's going on,
you're being an Am baby, or people say that you're basically like an Amberlynn stock account.
Try to share experience and share knowledge with Amberlynn. People will be like, you don't understand what's going on. Like, she's tricking you. You should have went harder on her. Like, she's just going to use this as a blah, 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 blah.
True. But just because Amber has a history of trolling people, you don't have to necessarily say, if she's done bad things, that doesn't mean that you also have to become a bad person and do horrible things. Like, I fully understand and know exactly the history of Amber, but I can still be subjective in my reactions and not be horrible, because the reality is, like, I don't necessarily make my reactions for her, because I know that she's probably not the one that's going to be watching it. And if she...
At least she's honest about that, you know? Like, because some people will be like, I'm trying to help her by this reaction. And I'm like, no, you're not. Let's just be real. Be honest. Like, yo, you're trying to make some bank, baby. You know? Hey, if you want to make some money, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, come on. Don't be like, I'm trying to help Amber because my reaction of me calling her fat and saying she's a slob is gonna help and make her want to lose weight. Like, come on, dude. No. Like, let's just use common sense. Like, no. Like, you're trying to make some paper, baby. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but just be honest.
She does, she's probably not gonna listen to what I have to say. The chances of that are very small. However, I do have to consider her wider audience, and unfortunately, the majority of the audience of Amberlynn and Foodie Beauty are people with eating disorders. They're either overweight.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably agree with that. Like, people that have maybe not eating disorders, but have some disordered eating. Because most people would watch that and be like, I have zero interest in, and completely leave and be like, nah, I'm good.
Or they're underweight. I'm going to guess that about 70 to 80% of people who watch Amberlynn and Foodie Beauty suffer with some form of eating disorder. And that's not, and I don't think that's being hyperbolic, because I get a lot of people, in particular women, I get a lot of women message me. I do get some men message me as well, but they're either struggling with binge eating disorders, with obesity, with trying to lose weight, or they're people that have that struggle with binging and purging and anorexia. And I think partially that's probably part of the morbid fascination with Amber and Foodie Beauty, is that people are themselves in a bad state, but they're not as bad as them.
Yeah, dude. Yep. 100%, man. Like, it's nice to be able to be like, you know what, I'm not feeling good about myself, but at least I'm not as bad as this person, right? Like, that's something that a lot of people do, not just in online stuff. Like, I remember when I was bigger, there was a guy that lived across the street from me that was a lot bigger than me, and I remember I would say to my friends, this wasn't nice, this was mean, but I was, 300 pounds at the time. I remember saying to my friends, let me know if I ever get as big as that guy over there. Like, it's something that people do. Like it's a normal thing to do. So it's just happening on the internet now.
So they watch to kind of feel better about themselves, and that's probably a horrible thing. It's probably why I started watching, I think. Probably also out of morbid curiosity, and I have also had my history. I don't anymore. But for me to be horrible and mean just because they do inappropriate things, two wrongs don't make a right. Like, I have to be mindful of the fact that I do coach a variety of people, and also I don't see the point in, like, I know there have been times where I have been a little bit mean, and I completely changed that approach, because being mean and horrible is easy. I can assure you, for me to sit here and slag somebody off, it's so easy. It's so easy, but actually trying to be
Slag is such a good word. I wish we used that here in America more.
Constructive and just give fair opinions without being horrible, it's a lot harder. And I'm not saying it's harder to be, like, I'm not saying it comes hard to me. It's just attacking somebody like Amber. That's not being horrible, but she's an easy target. There is,
dude, these are all facts, man. And it's like I said, it seems like she actually has a conscience, so it makes sense why she has changed her ways. Like, I think that's a good thing.
It's easy. It is easy to attack somebody. Attacking somebody on their looks, on things that they're doing, it's not hard. But trying to be constructive and give advice, maybe not to her, but to others that are listening, it's a lot harder.
Right? So there's that camp. But then if you go extra hard and you're like kind of mean and you are a bully and stuff like that, which I definitely don't think is the right way to go about it. Absolutely. I have gone the other way, right? Being kind and trying to actually give knowledge and share things. But if you are overly mean and rude, then obviously people are going to be like, you're being overly rude and mean. And so this is a polar.
I don't think so. What I found when I had, in the beginning of the year, my channel grew really quickly. I've only been doing YouTube properly for about a year. And I started reactions in December, as well as, like, I started my vlogging then as well. And I started off basically the way I am now, being very fair and just trying to explain things. And then you do sometimes get too emotionally involved, which was my fault. I don't anymore now. Like, I don't give two shits. But for me, it came from the perspective of wanting people to do better. And it is frustrating when people just throw away their health like that. But at the end of the day, it's not my life, so why do I care? The second I got a little bit mean and a little bit harsh, it does get condoned. People do like that. And
yeah, I mean, dude, the meaner you are, the more views you will get. I promise you. That's how it works. It's sad, but the meaner you are in these videos, and the more, like, especially if your thumbnail's good and it makes you, like, you look disgusted, and, like, you will get more views. The meaner you are, the more views you will get. It's how it works.
It didn't make me feel good. So this is why I partially stopped it, because I recognize that it's just not appropriate for somebody who is an online coach who deals with various people. It's not gonna reach them. There's just no point to it, right? But people do respond well to it. The audience does like it when you're being horrible for the most part, and that's really sad, to be honest.
Rising topic, and as a YouTuber, as a content creator, if you talk about it, there will always be a side of people that wish you talked about it in a different way. That's just the facts.
So today we're going to be taking a look at the evolution of Amberlynn's channel and her corresponding weight gain, my thoughts on her problematic mukbang content, and some other.
I might have to do this in a 3-parter because we're almost half an hour in and I'm literally 3 minutes into his video, so.
Hey man, you are the one that decided to watch my reaction of this 45-minute long video, okay? Don't come at me, all right? You didn't have to watch my hour-and-a-half long video, bro, all right? That was your choice, okay? You could have just watched Abby's video and then been done with it. But here we are, you know, now we're 4 reactions deep and we're having a good time, so it's fine.
Whew, this is going to be a big series, guys. I might have to break it up into several parts, so be ready for that.
Reasons why dieting might be failing Amberlynn's weight loss goals. We will also once again be joined by eating disorder dietitian Alessandra Magisano.
I did watch this video from Abbey, and whew, the way Alessandra speaks, I found that really annoying. Oh, I struggle listening to it, but even when we get to it, we'll get to it.
To gain a little bit more insight into some of these hot topics.
I think that's cool.
But of course, before we get started, a few quick disclaimers. Number one, the information in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only, so you should always speak to a healthcare provider about your unique healthcare needs. Two, this video is not intended to diagnose or pathologize Amberlynn.
The problem is though, she does go on in this video to basically talk about Amber having binge eating disorder, which from what I understand has never been officially diagnosed. I'm sure she probably does. You know, you don't really get to be, well, maybe.
I mean, I don't know. Like, Amber herself has said many times that she has binge eating disorder. Like, so I feel like, I don't know, for her being like, hey, you know, she said she has a binge eating disorder, so this is what you would do if you have that. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
You do get to be 600 pounds by just overeating, but I'm sure binging is part of it. You don't have to be a medical professional to diagnose somebody like Amber. When you get over a certain size, you have problems with eating. There's some internal problems there that make you go to food. I don't think many people get that big by choice because they just love food and they love to eat and they love to be. Some people may, but for the most part, it's physically uncomfortable, it's mentally uncomfortable because you are poisoning your body, you are slowly killing yourself. That's a horrible thing to say, but that is the reality. It's called morbid obesity. I can't imagine many people do that by choice because, you know, it's funsies.
Trigger.
I mean, it's not, she's not wrong there. Like especially like when we're talking about like being at a point where, you know, your mobility is suffering, your quality of life has been severely you know, hampered because of your size. Like, no one wants that. No one's like, I love this. There are some people, I'm sure, but like most people are like, this I would really like to not be here, right? So there's some serious stuff going on. So that's why I don't like when people are like, just lose weight, it's fine, it's easy. It's like, it's not that simple, dude. Like, obviously it's more than that.
Warning that some graphics and discussions may be disturbing to some of my viewers, particularly those who may have battled or are battling disordered eating.
I just cut out some of the warnings, the trigger warnings that Abbey puts in there.
So I just want to say, like, I think trigger warnings are good and I think that they are necessary and I'm glad that they exist. But for me, I think it's funny, and I put them in too, but it's funny to me that a video like this, we feel like we need to put a trigger warning when it's like, you saw the thumbnail and the title, so if you're going to be triggered, why would you click on it? Like, I just...
Yeah, I also find trigger warnings. Look, I get it if you talk about certain subjects. If you're going to talk about maybe assaults, etc. I totally get that.
Yeah, and like self-harm and like, yeah, you know, like sexual assaults and stuff like that. I think even like, you know, even if it's like a seriously intense talk about like binge eating or something like that, like some sort of eating disorder, like I think it's fine to put in a little trigger warning. It doesn't have to be like over the top, but like just let people know. For the people that really can't handle it, they can leave. I personally, I am more annoyed with the people that complain about trigger warnings than people that actually put trigger warnings in. Like, I don't know. That's my opinion though.
But like he says, at the end of the day, Amberlynn is in the thumbnail. People know who Amberlynn is for the most part. You're talking about diet tips, triggers. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably from a different school. I think her majority of her audience is probably teenage girls, younger females. I'm sure there's some men in there as well, but for the most part, I think it is probably more like millennial females that come from a background of restrictive eating disorders. You know, I get why she has to do it, but at the same time, it is, you don't have to watch the video, do you, if something triggers you. It's one thing if it suddenly pops up, but like he says, it is in the thumbnail. But then I'm not somebody that gets easily triggered by things, so sometimes it's hard for me to put myself into other people's shoes, but I do try.
Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with Amberlynn Reid, she initially
The three of you guys.
She started her YouTube channel back in 2013.
I think I'm funny. All right. That was a good joke.
To document her weight loss.
I had to take my hoodie off because it's a bit hot in here.
Loss journey. At the time, she was around 368 pounds. However, since starting her channel, she continued to steadily gain up to about 200 pounds and reached her highest weight in January 2020 at 572 pounds. Now,
can you imagine being 572 pounds? I keep putting this into a perspective. And in fact, let me go to Instagram here. I'm quite strong. I'm not insanely strong. There's over 250 kilos. Now let's go I couldn't lift 250 kilos. No way could I deadlift that. I think there's few females that can, but let me find a...
You're not gonna talk about that misty like painting right there? Just not gonna, nothing? All right, well, I guess we'll just move on.
Let me show you this girl that can. So I'm gonna show you a video by a little girl called Kira Jason. I follow her. She is phenomenal. Like, the strength in this girl. The strength. She is deadlifting here 260 kilos. Now look at how many, look at the bend. Look how that bar bends. That is insane.
Yeah, dude, that's freaking wild, bro. My heaviest deadlift ever is 455. Man, that's not kilos. That's pounds, okay?
Literally insane. Now, my best... Oh, talking of Instagram, I'll show you my best.
Hey, man, it's nice to know someone else gets as distracted as I do when I'm trying to react to a video. Good to know.
First of all. So here is me doing a rack pull of 200 kilos, which is like half a deadlift. That's like the strongest lift I've ever done in my life. Talking of which, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. Because from tomorrow, I am going to do, for my second channel, I'm going to do a video, which I'll film probably Wednesday or Thursday. Instagram decides what I'm going to eat. So I'm going to be running polls, and you're going to vote. And then depending on how people vote, that's basically what I'm going to eat. So you get...
I should do one of those. Be like, all right, Instagram chooses my meals. For breakfast, should I have oats or should I have oatmeal? For lunch, for dinner, should I have stir fry or should I have mixed veggies, rice, and meat with a nice sauce on it? You Instagram decides my meals. Wow.
Decide what I'm going to eat for the day. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Despite trialing.
My point is, 600 pounds, there's few people that can lift that kind of weight. That's insanely heavy. Insanely heavy.
And I mean, I don't think she's gonna show the videos, but I've talked about Amberlynn, and like she really has, like, if you go back to her, like, I think she still has it up on her channel. If you go back to her first video, it's her explaining why she wants to make this channel. Like, it really was at the beginning, I'm making this channel because I want to document myself losing weight. Like, that was the reason that she started, and like there's video proof of that.
A variety of different popular weight loss diets during this time, viewers have questioned Amber's authenticity and commitment to her weight loss journey.
I think Amber's pretty honest. She says when she messes up. She says when she's binge eating. She never sticks to a diet more than a couple of days. I don't think
That's sadly kind of true.
she will ever be successful unless she has some serious, unless she gets some serious mental help. I just don't think she has that willpower, and I don't know why.
I think, man, a lot of people talk about this, but I think a big reason is because, and like, I'm not saying this to be mean, a big reason is because, like, she has such a large following that, like, for her not losing weight, like, she is doing fine without it, right? Like, maybe not physically, but like financially, like, she has, like, for her losing, like, the amount of things that need to, like, that she needs to do to lose weight is like, that's a lot of stuff that she needs to do. And for her weight isn't making so she can't work. It's not like there's so much that's still able to happen for her because of her weight, because of this following that she has, that like her online presence is a huge hindrance. I believe 100%. Her online presence is a huge hindrance in making her want to lose weight. And people are like, well, she should get off YouTube. But it's like, yeah, maybe that might be a good idea. But like, you really think that she's just going to get off YouTube and like completely leave the way that she makes money? Like the thing that makes her the money? Like, no, dude. Like, what? No sane person would do that. Like, and you might say, well, you should do it because it's going to save your life. Yeah, I would agree with that. But again, like, obviously that's not going to happen. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like this is a pretty obvious thing that people seem to miss. Like, of course, a huge reason why she isn't doing it is because of her platform. Like, come on.
Don't know what can be done, but I don't think the perfect diet doesn't exist for Amber. I think she needs to really undergo some very strenuous therapy and potentially be in an facility be in an inpatient facility, because I just don't think she has the willpower to do it on her own. I don't know, unless it's all for views, it's all for trolling, and she's just like, fuck it, I'll just go out being like this. Possible, but I don't know, I don't think so.
As she continues to steadily gain weight, despite repeated efforts to improve her diet and start fresh tomorrow.
Now, okay, I'm not sure if she's going to bring it up, but I do think that it's important. Now, for my own, like when I talk about Amberlynn Reid, I don't really care about the other controversies that are circling her, because when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about weight loss. I'm talking about, like, that's what I care about.
Yeah, and that's like the perspective, that's the approach that I'm taking as well with my reactions, is that I know a lot of the lore that surrounds them. And, you know, I'm not afraid to laugh at Amber when she's trolling because it's funny. She's trolling on purpose, so it's funny if you see people getting wound up. But at the same time, like, I don't necessarily want to get into the whole lore of things that have happened. Does that mean it's a free pass completely for Amber? Absolutely not. She's done some things that are not cool whatsoever, but at the same time, I am trying to help people with their health and fitness journey. So for me to sit here and just be nitpicky or judgmental of other things she's doing, it's about the amount of earrings she buys. Like, what difference does it make? Am I sometimes nitpicky? Yeah, I am. But I do try and minimize it as much as possible, because it's just not constructive to the conversation that I'm trying to have.
Right? But there are also other things that have happened in the past, many controversies that have absolutely nothing to do with weight or anything like that. It's more about being kind of a bad person, okay? And those are other things that people have made many videos on.
And this is the reason I think, like, I think Abby's going to turn it around into, well, she is. She's going to turn it around to, oh, people don't like Amber because she's fat. It's like, no, it's not because she's fat.
I mean, I can't stop laughing about how stupid this video is. Oh, man, it just keeps, like, popping into my head that, like, why am I doing this? Oh, man.
I'm sure that doesn't help. It definitely draws the initial attention. The morbid curiosity is because of her obesity. But a large part is it because of the things she says and does. That's why a lot of people don't like her. She does create controversies, and she does love it because that's what makes her views. Unfortunately, and you can say what you want, but when it comes to YouTube and when it comes to making money, Amber knows what she does. If things go bad, guaranteed something will happen. Clickbaity title will come up go the views, up comes the hate. Is the hate warranted? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I don't think hate is ever warranted. Criticisms are. It's a fine line sometimes.
I mean, I agree with all this. Like, Amberlynn is, I'm not trying to say she's a victim or she's, like, perfect. Like, God, please don't think that's what I'm saying. She knows what she's doing, right? Like, when she, like, clickbaits her health and, like, there's a health scare and there's actually nothing happened. Like, that stuff is, like, I would never do that, dude. Because karma, like, I'm good, dog. I'm good. I'm not going to do that. I'm good. But, like, she's fine with doing it. And, like, she gets views when she does that stuff. Like, she knows what she's doing, just like I know what I'm doing. Well, technically today I don't know what I'm doing because this is absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah.
But Amber knows what she does. Do not worry. She makes plenty of money, and she knows how YouTube works.
I'm not sure if Abbey is going to go into it, but I do know that is why there is also this other group of people that might not be the biggest fan of her because of the those different controversies as well. I'm not sure if Abby's going to be talking about those because, again, you know, she's taking this from a dietitian's approach. So I would be surprised if she did bring it up, but maybe she does.
I don't think she will. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. And I kind of understand. I understand why as well, because, like, Abbey is trying to have a conversation about dieting and health. So to really, I think she should maybe, if she's gonna just talk about that, she should just look at the foods itself and not necessarily at Amber's presence online, because there is a lot to it. It's a very grey area. It's not that black and white. It's like, oh, fat, dislike. It's not like that. So if you're gonna even bring up, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Like, if she's gonna bring up the online presence and why there is so much hate, then maybe you almost do have to touch around some of the lore that surrounds Amber.
I don't disagree with what she's saying. Like, do I think that Abbey needed to bring up every single little thing? God, no, because that video was already long, would have been longer, you know? But I do think it would have been helpful for her at least. I mean, the video's doing well. It seems like it's being perceived well, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. But I think that it would have maybe been a little bit more better if she would have just at least said, there's other stuff that's going on as well, but I'm not going to get into it, right? To at least acknowledge, like, I know these things exist, but it's not any of my business, and I'm not going to talk about it. That's usually what I do, and people seem to be fine with that.
But then at the same time, if you're talking about dieting and health, like, what difference does it make? But then the argument is going to be, the reason why Amber is big is because people hate her online, so she's eating more, which I'm sure some of it does impact that, but at the same time, interesting. I can see this one from both sides. I don't know if you've noticed, but I do try and see things from all different perspectives, and sometimes I don't know the answer, but if you guys are willing to let me know or give some like valid opinions or criticisms, then I am more than happy to listen and read. I still need to read the studies that one of my subscribers left in regards to insulin and obesity and all of that. So, because I was saying, I think sometimes I come across as somebody that's very anti-carb. I'm not necessarily anti-carb. I just think
I love carbs so much. You guys, carbs are good.
people overconsume carbohydrates, and I think there's a time and a place for them. I think if you're very sedentary, there's just no need for a lot of carbohydrates. But then I know as well in studies that it's weight loss is calories in, calories out. So high carb, low carb, doesn't really matter. Over a prolonged period of time, they have the same results. It's just that, you know, from working with people, I find that applying carbohydrates around energy expenditure is more useful. But, you know, I'm sure there probably is also a subconscious bias there, because I personally do like low carb diets. I like eating high fat. So
I'm not even disagreeing with her. I love carbs, but I understand what she's saying, right? Like introducing carbs around activity, because that's what your body uses first, is going to be the carbs, and fat and protein are more satiating than carbs are. I understand. It's not like she's wrong, but I just like bread, you know?
maybe there is some subconscious bias there, but you know, I never said that my approach works for everybody. Most of my clients are not low carb, only some are when we're trying to do a cut or if there are certain medical concerns. Again, like, I can't help everybody with all medical problems either. Sometimes I do have to decline people because I know my remit of expertise, and sometimes I do have to refer people to people more qualified than me, but that's a different story.
In addition to her weight loss journey, Amberlynn is also known for her mukbang videos, which have really generated a lot of negative feedback. Critics of Amberlynn are quick to point out some of the contradictions of someone in a larger body seeking weight loss who is simultaneously participating in a trend that encourages eating large volumes of food in one sitting. So this begs the question, are mukbangs okay, acceptable, and fun to watch when the YouTuber is generally thin, healthy, or fit?
I think it is more acceptable, but I personally don't agree with it either. Granted, I have done some eating challenges, which is more for informational purposes only, but I would never do like a 10,000 calorie challenge because I just don't agree with stuff like that. It's even when I do things like eating like Foodie Beauty, which if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. I did it because of the fact that I'm taking measurements like blood pressure and blood glucose levels. I do disclaim to say that this is not how people should eat. I don't agree with it.
I think this is a little interesting because my whole thing, I don't like any of that stuff. I don't watch food challenges. I don't watch mukbangs. I just don't enjoy it, right? But there are people that like watching that stuff, right? And that's fine, right? Like, I don't think that food challenges should be demonetized or shouldn't be demonetized, but mukbang should. I think they should all be allowed, right? I don't agree with them. I don't watch them. But it's so weird to me that someone could have such a little disconnect of like, oh, I do food challenges, I don't do mukbangs. Like, come on, man. Like, you're eating a lot of food on camera. Like, it's the same thing, dude. It's the same thing. Maybe you're doing it for science and you're doing it to explain something, but I guarantee most people that do some sort of food challenge or some sort of mukbang have a reason that they're doing it. Most of them aren't just doing it because, oh, I just want to eat a lot of food on camera and be a fat person and be gross and disgusting and make people hate me. Like, most people are like, no, I do it because of this or that or that. Like, everyone's going to have their reason, right?
I'm testing it on my own body, which is probably dumb, but I know my body well enough to know how I can prepare for it, how I can manage it afterwards.
Ooh, this is a slippery slope because now you're going down the road of like, who's allowed to do these types of things? Like, I'm allowed to do it because I understand my body more, and this person isn't allowed to do it because obviously they don't understand their body more. Like, I'm sorry, I don't agree. Like, I don't. Like, I think like they should be allowed. I don't like them, but like to say like I should be able to do it because I understand my body versus this person shouldn't be because they obviously don't. Like, I'm sorry, man. It doesn't. That's not fair.
I'm pretty in tune with how my body functions, and I would not do challenges like that on a regular basis, especially fast food challenges. However, I am thinking about maybe next week filming a freely video, eating like freely for a day.
Bro, are you? She did not. What? Oh my gosh. This is so fun. Hey, this woman has been great, and I think she makes some really good points, but come on, man. Like, she said these are stupid, but also I might do one. Hey, do you, queen? Do your thing.
And just eating fruits and taking my blood glucose levels for that. I think that's going to be fascinating. If you want to see that, leave a banana in the comments already. There'll be another emoji later, but leave a banana for now.
That's going to be absolutely awesome, dude.
And are they otherwise disturbing and problematic when the mukbanger's nutritional health is already in question?
I think it is, because it is kind of like watching somebody who is, for example, an alcoholic or a drug addict. If you were to see like the model type partying and she's like in a club in her nice clothes and she's doing some of that, would you judge it?
She's picking her nose. She shouldn't be picking her nose in the club. That's not sanitary.
If it's only on the weekends, probably not. If you were to see somebody that is homeless, that is dirty, that is unkempt, if you see them on the street like shooting up, would you have a problem with it then? You probably would, I think. And that's...
Well, I mean... that's a problem. Like, I think that's the problem, is like some people are allowed to do things while other people aren't allowed to do things. Dude, that's not cool. Like, everyone, we're all humans. We all are allowed to do the same types of things. Like, we have our own perceptions on people, but like to say that like this, it almost makes it feel like because this homeless person doesn't have the same liberties as this person who's in the club that's a sexy girl that's doing that, right? Like, I don't know about that one. I very, very much so disagree with that whole framing. Like, I don't like that at all.
They're both probably wrong, but it's like you are gonna, if somebody is very deep in their addictions, it's a lot harder to watch. I don't know. It is interesting, isn't it, how we are okay with certain people behaving in certain manners compared to others, just partially because of their appearance and their social status, etc.
She's so close. Like, she's so close to understanding what I'm saying. Like, she's like, it's interesting. So then the next step is like, maybe that's not cool to do then, right? Like, you just take the next step. Like, it's interesting that I have this thought that it's okay if this person does this thing, but not okay if this person. And then you take the next step and be like, you know what? I don't think that's cool, and maybe I shouldn't feel that way. Right? So maybe, I don't know, hopefully she'll see this and maybe she'll make the next step. Hopefully. I don't know.
I don't know if that's right or wrong. Giving me a lot to think about.
Dude, and this is like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that she brought this up, because this is the question and I don't have the answer, okay? Like,
I don't either. I can see why it's problematic, but I also get that it shouldn't be, because why is it okay for one person to do it and not for another? It doesn't make sense, because the reality...
She's so close, dude. She's right there. She might get there.
The reality is, anybody that's doing mukbangs or binges for camera, I know most of them don't even properly eat it, that it's like camera tricks, but if they do, you're still fucking up your health, just because of the fact that you happen to not get as fat from it, or... You know, a lot of them do have disturbing, a lot of them do follow certain patterns. From what I understand, like Eric the Electric, he like cycles like 100 miles after a mukbang or a challenge, which like obviously is better that he tries to rectify, but at the same time, cycling 100 miles after you've eaten food, like that's unhealthy, but then he eats a lot of calories, so I get it, but then at the same time, that's...
Dude, Eric, freaking, yeah, it's crazy, man. Eric's my friend, I love Eric. But dude, I could never imagine, like, that dude's a machine. Like, he is, like, unbelievably fit. Like, you guys, it's unreal how his engine, not saying I agree with the whole eating a bunch of food thing. Like, hey, that's obviously not my thing, but like, he is unbelievably fit. Like, it's
like, these are destructive behaving patterns. I'm sure people that maybe fast for like days on end just to try and rectify the calories. So,
and like, I don't know. Obviously Eric's my friend, so I'm going to defend him a little bit. Whatever. Call me a hypocrite. That's fine. But like, Eric himself, if you talk to him, or if people ask him, like, I want to do what you do, blah, blah, blah. He's always like, don't do what I do. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not healthy. Like, he will be the first person to say that. So he's under no delusions that what he does is healthy. Again, it's what makes him money, and he's very good at it. Again, do I agree with it? It's not something I would do, but he is not sitting here saying what I do is the pinnacle of health. Absolutely not.
That's destructive too.
But this is the question that fires me up, because who knows? Like, it's so frustrating when people are like, oh, if you're overweight, you can't do mukbangs. I'm like, nah, dude, that's not how that works. Like, how could you just say, like, if you're thin, you're allowed to do this thing, but if you're overweight, you're not allowed to do it, right?
I totally agree with him, and I think my stance has very much changed on this, especially just talking to people and being on YouTube and having to be a lot more open-minded and understanding. And I understand why, because I also think it is bad, but it's just not nice to look at, seeing somebody literally like ruin their health over food. And I think that's what it is. But then at the same time, if you're going to make it bad for one person, you should make it bad for another person too.
Or if you're going to make it okay for one person, it should be okay for anybody, right? Like, that's how I feel, at least.
It's such a tricky subject.
And
this is why I don't think, people keep saying like, oh yeah, Chantal should be kicked off the platform, she's indulging in her addictions and this and this. I think it's highly unlikely to happen, because if they do, they have to kick everybody off that does mukbangs, and that's not going to happen because it's far too lucrative. So do you really think YouTube is suddenly just going to get rid of all of these content creators that make them millions and millions in AdSense? I think not.
I disagree with that. And like, people are like, well, YouTube should demonetize, Hungry Fat Chick or Amberlynn Reid or all these bigger people that are doing these mukbangs. But I'm like, dude, I can almost guarantee you that's never going to happen.
Literally just said that. I love John. I think we're kind of on the same wavelength. I think we have quite different approaches, but, great minds,
Because YouTube, if they are going to they would have to say themselves as a company, you're not allowed to do mukbangs because you're too overweight. And I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. Now, there's a difference when you are someone like Amberlynn, who has made her whole channel about wanting to lose weight, and then you start putting out mukbangs where you are eating thousands and thousands of calories. Now, of course,
the thing is, Amber doesn't do that though. She has done some mukbangs that are high calorie, but for the most part, she just sits there and eats her dry ass chicken,
I'm sorry, that made me laugh. Oh man, okay.
So she does eat some unhealthy foods, but she never does things like Hungry Fat Chick or Nikocado Avocado or one of the many other thousands of YouTubers.
Of course, those people that are following you that were excited, that are invested in you losing weight, they're going to be disappointed in the fact that you are now eating thousands and thousands of calories, and you are monetizing those videos, you are making money on those videos, and you're basically, it feels like, and I know because I've had people explain it to me, it feels like a slap in the face because you were invested in this person.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of the resentment that Amber does get is that people do want her to do well, and when she then turns around and does things like mukbangs, it is just like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, why are you ruining your health for views and money? It's hard to understand, and it's sad because she's just such a young woman and she has such...
The thing, I mean, it's an interesting question, but I mean, the answer is very easy. Because why not, right? Like, there are people, I was one of them, that will ruin their health and their future for nothing. Like, I didn't make money being the size that I was. It wasn't lucrative for me in any capacity, but like, I didn't care. Right? Like, I just didn't care. Like, so I think that's the thing, is like there's just a lot of people that just don't care. And then if on top of it you are gaining weight, and it makes, like, the more weight that you gain, the more popular it seems like you become. Like, shoot, dude, why would you not just go for that, right? Like, not saying it's right, but like,
serious health implications already. It's like, why are you doing this? There is a life beyond this. But like I say, I think there's many reasons why she does what she does. One, it is money. Two, she doesn't know any better. Whenever I've seen pictures of her as a child, she was enormous as a kid. So how does she know what it's like to be a healthy BMI? She doesn't. How can you miss something you've never had? You can't. You don't know what it's like, so you can't relate to that. And also, I'm fairly sure that the aspect of weight loss is like, it's her identity. She is Big Al. So who is she gonna be if she loses the fat? Just Amberlynn?
Did she just say she's Big Al? What? I'm just like imagining some old white guy with like a beer belly and a mustache with a baseball cap on, like I'm Big Al. What? Okay, I'm sorry.
She loses who she is, and on top of that, there's going to be a lot of loose skin. And I know that John is very confident, I know that John is very happy with his skin, and he's never gonna, from what I understand, he's not gonna operate at weight, which is fine. But I can imagine somebody like Amber, who is quite vain, I can imagine that, like, that's off-putting to know that you're just gonna have to have so many operations to get rid of that skin. And I think that is probably something that does scare a lot of people who are overweight to take action. It's not just a case of, oh well, you lose some weight and you're gonna look good, or as per society good. Like, you're probably gonna have internal damage to organs, you're probably gonna have damage to joints, your skeleton is probably gonna be deformed forever because of all the pressure of the weight, you're gonna have loose skin. There's a lot of long-lasting, potential lifetime-lasting side effects that you may never be able to get rid of. So it's not that easy, I don't think. But then I can't relate because I've never been that big.
Now, should you feel like it's a slap in the face? I don't know. Like, people get invested in people they watch online. It just is a thing, right? So this is a really, really interesting conversation that I think is still being explored. But I am very curious to see what she says.
We're going to be diving deeper into these questions later on.
Yo, she has gotten... she is like 3 minutes into my video, my original video. Holy smokes, dude. She's going to have to make 20 videos on this. I promise I'm not going to react to any other ones. Like, this is it. I'm not going to... I won't subject you guys to that.
In the video, so definitely be sure to stick around for that. Now, with all of that said, many of Amberlynn's viewers have repeatedly expressed concern about her size.
It's not normal for a 5'2", 5'3", 5'4" female to be 600 pounds. That is highly concerning and very detrimental to health.
And the implications that this may have on her health and well-being.
Not may have, there will be. This is one thing I don't like with fat acceptance, and or HAZE, is that yes, you deserve to be treated fairly, but you cannot deny that there's not going to be medical problems. That will happen. If they're not there now, they will indefinitely happen. I highly doubt that there is anybody who's like class 2 or class 3 obese, or even class 1 obese, that has been there for a prolonged period of time that has no side effects. I don't believe it. It's called morbid obesity. It comes with comorbidities. This is undeniable science. If you haven't got anything yet, it will happen. Granted, a lot of things can happen to healthy BMI, healthy fit people too, but your chances are significantly increased, and that's also a fact. That's not my opinion.
Now,
I mean, it's hard because there are different classes of obesity, and like I actually still considered obese if we look at BMI, right? That's why, you know, it's just it is what it is. But like to say like everyone that is even in like stage 1 obesity or whatever is having like these like terrible health issues that is like going to kill them in 5 years, like it's not realistic. Now again, if we're talking about Amberlynn Reid and people that are that size, then yes, absolutely, I agree. Like that is like when it starts impacting your health, not just in like, oh, your blood tests, but like, can you stand up? like, can you tie your own shoe? Can you get up and sit down? Like, all of those things, then yeah, absolutely. Being that size is very detrimental. And even like the size that I was, like, there are, like she talked about it earlier, there are effects, right? I have loose skin from being that size. Like, that is just what it is. And so there are, you know, there is some truth to that, but I don't think anyone, like, if you're 50 pounds overweight, you might be considered morbidly or obese at least. And it's not like you have some like serious issues that, like, if you don't address them right now, they're gonna be like, you know, it's, I don't know.
Now, I can understand this concern, as we do know that obesity, specifically higher amounts of body fat, may put one at a greater risk of a number of chronic diseases, including cancer. Unfortunately, Amberlynn did
Now, this is, I think that, man, this might just be me, but I really do feel like Abbey Sharp has, like, it's been really interesting seeing her, I don't know, metamorphosis or transformation from being someone that was, it seemed like for a while, was very almost pro health at every size. And
She was. And she purposely left out studies where it is very clear that obesity is a problem. She would always go on the urge of like, oh well, weight loss can be problematic, weight loss can lead to eating disorders, weight loss can cause this and this and this. It's like, yeah, but what's on the other side though? Well, I mean, like, I'm neither are good, don't get me wrong, but even now she's like, it may do this. It's like, well, this is not really opinion. From what I understand, it's fairly well researched that having excess amounts of body fat, it does cause increased chances of obesity. That's not an assumption. That's fairly well established through research.
All this stuff, to where it seems like she is now more in the middle with this stuff, which is, I personally feel like is kind of where I am as well, where it's like, you know, do we need to shame people and call them names or anything like that? Obviously not. But the reality of someone being, you know, as large as Amberlynn is, or just being really, really big, like, yo, those really can lead to some negative health complications, right? And the fact that she's saying this, like, this is probably something she wouldn't have said a few months ago.
Definitely. And I think this is why I also have not reacted to Abbey as much, because she is changing her view and she is being more inclusive of the people that she reacts to. This is partially why I also want to start doing more like model what I eat in a day. And I have done other people that are on the extreme end of restricting, you know, but I will be honest, like, Amber stuff gets me the views, so I probably will keep doing that for the most part, if in terms of what I eat in a day, but I do try and balance it out.
And so I think that this is it's really interesting to hear this.
Recently shared that she was diagnosed with stage 1 endometrial cancer, which is a cancer in the lining of the uterus. Now, I will say that there are a number of risk factors for endometrial cancers, including age, genetics, and use of certain forms of contraceptives. But research does suggest that obese and overweight women with higher amounts of body fat are 2 to 4 times more likely to develop endometrial cancer.
It's because of the increased estrogen from being obese.
And extremely obese women are about 7 times more likely. One explanation.
All right, guys, so we are only 11 minutes into Obese to Beast video, and I have been filming for 45 minutes already.
Hey, you did it to yourself. I don't know. It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask you to do this.
I'm gonna stop this here, and let me know down below if you want me to keep doing this series. I don't know if and when I'll continue the reaction. I'll probably do it maybe like once or twice a week. I can work my way through this video, but I don't want to do a video. First of all, I don't want to edit a video that's like 4 hours long, and I don't want to do that to you. So we'll just we'll call this part 2. Insert a little monster, like beast emoji, like, you know, whatever you think is a beast emoji. Insert that so I know you A, watch the video until the end, so you're an OG, and B, that you want me to do a part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 10, 20. We will see. But
don't do 20. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. I don't want anyone to do that to themselves. That sounds horrible.
But there's a lot to unpack here because of what he's saying and what she's saying, and obviously my own experiences having done some reactions to Amberlynn Reid. So on that note, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. If you dislike the video, dislike it. Let me know why. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe we'll agree to disagree. That's fine as well. I am gonna go and get my nails done because the salons are open again, so new set is gonna come on.
Must be nice, okay? Why are you just rubbing that in our faces? To us Americans, it's not very nice.
And yeah, edit this. So make sure you're subscribed, join the membership if you want to. check out my second channel, and that's it for me. Have a good week. See you later. Bye.
Oh man, wow. Oh, again, like I said, I fully understand how ridiculous this is. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we did it. We made it through. I thought there were some great points made. Obviously, there's some things I disagree with. If she ends up reacting to the whole video, that's oh my gosh, she's gonna have to stop talking as much or something, because she's gonna be there forever. But this was a lot of fun, and I feel bad for her if she ends up deciding to continue this series.